Shalini Smith.
Here?
Peter Resnick.
Here.
Vahagan Shiflikan.
Here.
Jerry Fry.
Here.
Charles Davidson.
Here.
Ann Panthen.
Here, thank you. Are there any additions to the agenda tonight? No? Okay. The meeting minutes from the August meeting were sent out today, and I hope everyone's had a chance to look at them. And if you haven't, we can move this to another meeting, the approval of these minutes to next month. But if you've looked them over and you feel confident about what's in them and feel like you can approve them, we'll just go this month. Okay. All right. So we need a motion.
All right, I'll put forth a motion to pass the minutes from the previous meeting.
I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Public input, seeing none. We have some unfinished business. Carla, do you want to lead that discussion for us?
Yes. The 2 meetings ago, we talked about changing, or we can't change it, but presenting to the council, adjusting the required membership for the HRC from 9 to 7. And Mr. Resnick had some questions, and at the last meeting, we brought it up, but we tabled it until he could be here because he had questions, comments, and concerns, and so we wanted to table it until he was able to be here.
Okay.
At our last meeting, I did speak with the attorney and the clerk, and our ordinance says seated, so we go based on the number seated. So because we have 6 seated, 4 is our number, but if we had all 9 seated, it would be 5.
Interesting. So they're saying that the quorum in the ordinance is overridden by the number.
I think they are saying that the big ordinance, the code says seated versus what the ordinance says, so I think they're overriding based
City
on
code.
Yes,
City code overrides the specific in our ordinance.
yes.
Interesting.
Pete, did you have any other concerns about lowering the number?
No, I mean, that's my main concern. I'm surprised because in the past, I know that we have held, when we had a full commission, we have held meetings with 4 because that was the ordinance number. If the city attorney is now saying what's in our ordinance is overridden by something else in city code, that's surprising. But I will take that at face value. I don't have any particular strong feeling about this. Part of the reason that we had the concern was that our quorum number was going to be 5, even if it wasn't seated. Given that the number is based on seated, I don't know that it makes that much of a difference to lower the number. Because lowering it, if there's 6 of us here, and then our quorum is 4, that's fine. If there are 9 of us on the commission, then it'll go up to 5, but then there are 9 of us on the commission. So I don't know that changing the number makes a big difference. And at that point, I'd be inclined to leave it the same. And, I think it'll be a change without any significant help. And as always, I'm always tempted not to bring ideas to the city council to open up our ordinance and have them try and adjust other things that they might find helpful.
Understood. And I'm remembering from my conversation with the city clerk and the attorney, but I can confirm that for sure, just to be on the safe side, if you'd like.
That sounds good.
And she, the city clerk did say, once she gets her presentation together on OMA and some other things, that she would be willing to come to the meeting and present that, and we can make sure that we get that officially on record from her
Right.
and the attorney. Because I don't know anymore.
Well, I would be in favor of lowering our number to 7 from 9. I think it would feel, anyway, easier for us to fill to 7 rather than 9. I don't know if Pete would probably remember, you have had 9 in the past.
It's been a while. It's certainly been a while. I think the number tends to go up when something controversial happens in the city and lots of people volunteer. And, you know, at those times, having a few extra people doesn't hurt.
Right.
So, like I said, I don't, given what we've heard about quorum, and that quorum is not driving the decision, it does come down to, does it feel better or does it seem better?
Right.
And I guess I just don't have a strong feeling that it does, so.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I have a question.
Yes.
So my question is basically a more general question. Maybe I missed that part, but what became a reason to trigger this kind of change, and what was the driving force of making this? Was it a legal requirement or procedural? Like, what was the reason?
I would say neither, but since I've been here, I've had a challenge with filling 9 seats, and there are a lot of seats open within all of the city boards, and so we've had success when it's 7 versus 9. I've been here 4 years, and I've never been able to get 9 members on the board. And I do a lot of recruitment. I go out into the community, recruiting for members, and it's been a struggle. It's not legal, it's not protocol, it's just, we were trying to ensure quorum, because there were questions about it, and there was questions about it from our other board also that we staff. And so, at that time, I thought it was a good idea if we looked at lowering it to 7 versus 9. And it's just a discussion. It's not required by law or anything like that.
And thank you. Another question. So can we say that this is only a change in the number of commissioners, or this can become a part of a broader set of changes, or it's just like the number of commissioners?
This conversation is just about the number of commissioners.
And it won't become a part or an element of a broader set of changes? Like, it won't bring other changes as well?
We hope not.
Yeah.
I was going to say it could, because there are some things in the ordinance that we could look at and probably should look at. But currently, it's just the number.
Thank you. Yeah, and one more question. So you said that we have a historical, I mean, like from your work experience, that a certain number of commissioners perform better, or like the quorum can be, they can have the quorum in a more effective way, let's say, right? But is there any, do we have any other statistics from other commissions that states whether a certain number of people can perform more effectively in that sense, or no? Maybe not from our city council, maybe from other places.
I have not done that research, but that's something we could look at if you would like for us to do that. quorum is just, it's based on what the ordinance says. I was looking at ensuring that we meet quorum for every meeting, because I know in our history, we didn't meet quorum often, and that impacts the work that is being done at the city. If we don't meet quorum here, then all of the contracts that are hoping for EEO certification cannot move forward until we can meet quorum. And so those are some of the, just from the history that I've had since I've been here, has been some of the motivation for me to look at or to offer that, could we look at lowering the number to 7 versus 9?
Yeah.
But I understand Mr. Resnick's point also.
Thank you.
I will say, and again, this is one of those things that hasn't come up in recent years. When we had hearings, and I've been on a couple of commissions that have had hearings, having 9 people in the room for the decision-making process, and again, if we could get 9, but, a jury of 6 ain't terrific as far as getting a good, broad, section of views and people available to read through testimony. And so, I understand the current state of affairs is we don't have that many applications. I don't see a big need to change. And should the time come when we have plenty of applications, we'll have the ability to have a bigger commission and split up more work and maybe get some more, projects done because we have more people who are, excited about doing stuff. So my feeling is let's leave it the same.
Jerry or Charles, any thoughts?
I'm listening, right now I'm just a number. I'm trying to figure out everything that's going on, I even do the videos, go back and check all that.
Okay,
But right now, so you would know the best thing to do here. You've been here a long time, So if it was a quorum, that I would try to keep it safe myself at 7.
oh, at 7?
If it were a quorum.
If it worked, yeah, if that worked for, yeah, Jerry?
I have no strong feelings either way.
Okay,
I sympathize with Carla's plight in trying to recruit people, and I understand exactly what Pete is saying in regards to when there's trouble brewing, everybody wants to jump on board.
sure,
Yeah, that's just how things go. And
that's the nature of the work.
exactly,
Yep.
the nature of the beast. So I have no strong feelings either way, but it's important as a commission, as Carla said, to be able to fulfill quorum and move ahead with the process.
Right.
As opposed to just coming here, showing up and saying, oh, we only have 4 people,
Right,
we have to go home.
right,
That doesn't work for anybody.
no, that's, you're right, it doesn't. Shalini, any thoughts on any of that?
I don't have a strong opinion either way, but I do, I guess if there is, like has been mentioned previously, if there does come a point when we do get more applications, like how, we'd have to go through the same process to reverse the decision, right?
Yeah,
So I'd almost say if it's not harming anything, maybe just leave it at 9, so that if there is a need and we do have people that want to join, it makes it easier.
okay. So you're going to talk again to the legal department and
I'll
city
send
clerk?
out the official word.
Yeah, send out the official word, and then maybe we put this on the agenda for next month and you have a more formal vote, if that's, I would imagine that's the way we have to go, and we'll see where it shakes out.
Well, you would just be voting to submit it to council for consideration. Because
Right.
they could even say
Right,
no.
no,
But it would just be, you would be supporting that if they said yes.
okay,
And I believe that's how it goes.
okay, all right. And would that be not a presentation to them, but like a memo, in memo form?
Or a resolution.
Or resolution. It would, yeah,
resolution.
it would probably, we'd probably do a presentation just to talk with them like we're
Yeah.
doing now.
Yep, okay.
But I would find all that out if that's the route we were taking, what the process would be.
Okay. All right, so we are tabling this again for a month, and we'll see where we stand. All right, thank you. New business. Receipt of automatic 2-year EEO certifications. It's my understanding we don't have any automatic.
That
So
is
we're-
correct, yes.
We're just going to move right on. We're going to go to EEO certifications.
All right, so I will make the following recommendations, or I will put forth the motion to make the following recommendations. CDW Government LLC for 2 years. Oh, shoot, I read this wrong, my bad. Going a little out of order here. Banner Fire Equipment Incorporated for 2 years. Chapman and Cutler LLP for 2 years. Clearspan Fabric Structures International LLC for 2 years. Drake Scruggs Equipment Incorporated for 1 year. Kenny Contractors for 2 years. And Time Manufacturing Company for 2 years.
Do we have a second?
I'll go ahead and second.
Thank you. Any discussion on any of these applications?
Just quickly.
Yes.
I read through the recommendation in the CDW application. Theirs are the most disappointing numbers of the bunch. And I understand that in many categories, it's a turnover question. Unlike some of the others, it wasn't like for every category of worker, they hired more minorities than they let go of. The numbers were okay, but not great. So I guess, they've had 2 years before? They're a renewal? Or are they just a new application this time?
That is a renewal, and 2 years ago was the last time that they came up.
Okay. And I guess disappointing, but they seem to be trying to make some progress. In some categories, they did really well. In others, not so great, so. Nothing that I'm going to try and make an amendment for, but if anybody else is encouraged to do so by what I said, feel free.
I would just like to provide further details about this company, CDW Government LLC, which is located in Chicago area. And we know that Chicago has a rich and diverse demographics. And when we see the numbers here, white demographics comprising approximately 76% of their employees. And it will be really very beneficial if moving forward that they can adopt more inclusive hiring processes. But at the same time, they have 31% of women in their workforce, which is not bad. Again, so a credit can be given them for that, but at the same time, achieving more balanced representation of different demographics in their workforce is highly encouraged. And at the same time, I'd like to indicate another agency that has almost the same picture here. It's Chapman and Cutler LLP, which is again located in Chicago area. And they have 70% of white demographics. And again, it will be very positive step if moving forward they can have more, they can consider more diverse hiring processes. But I'd like to specifically highlight another agency or company here, which is Drake Scruggs Equipment, Inc., which is located in Springfield, Illinois. They have, this agency has predominantly homogeneous workforce, 79.5% of white demographics. I think they have like 400 or I don't really remember the number, how many employees they have. Yeah, but they have only one employee from other demographics. And in your notes, I read that it says there is no historical data on this company. Probably this is, they are applying for the first time.
Yes.
And to foster a more inclusive environment, this agency is highly encouraged to reconsider the practices of hiring diverse demographics in the future.
Because we don't have any history on them, that's why we recommended 1 year, so we could ask them what are their hiring practices, because currently we don't know. We don't know what efforts they're using to try to attract a more diverse workforce. They have 41 employees, but we don't know how they are recruiting those employees. So the 1 year allows us to ask for a good faith effort plan from them and then that would give you an opportunity to look at what are they doing? Because they could be doing a lot of recruitment, but not attracting. So, but we won't know that because they're new, but the next time they come up, they will be required to give us that. And within our letter, we do talk about some of the things that they could do to attract.
Thank you. So, yeah, and we had here other three companies, Banner Fire Equipment, Inc., which is located in Roxana, Illinois. We had this Clearspan Fabric Structures International, LLC, Drake Scruggs Equipment, Inc., I just like said right. Kinky Contractors and Time Manufacturing Companies. But here there are nothing to add, as the demographic representation within the agency clearly reflects the number of the demographics that they have in their cities and counties. Yeah, but just like a big thanks to them for operating and doing business and creating workplaces, but at the same time to remember that when they are investing in our community, it is important to adhere to our values and principles as well, which is equality, equity, inclusion, diversity. So we highly encourage them to do that, yeah.
So are we suggesting that maybe CDW Government LLC get one of our letter encouraging, better recruitment? Their numbers are terrible. I don't know where, I don't know what the problem is. Being in Chicago, their numbers should balance out.
Well, I could look at it from a different angle. Because Chicago is so vast, large, and a lot of opportunity in Chicago, that people have the choice to go pretty much wherever they want. They could go out of the city proper, they could go into the suburbs. And it may be, this is IT products and services, so it might be that the industry is not, I don't know, in what did you?
I said recruiting.
recruiting, there's a lot of factors that come into play why the numbers look the way they do. That's why we try to look at the employment rates. If they're in a strong employment rate, then people may not be job jumping.
Yeah,
And the workforce, because, again, remember, this number represents everybody in the community, and that includes babies all the way up to what is it?
sure.
You know, however old someone can be. And so the workforce is not reflected, the actual workforce is not reflected in this number.
Right.
Because it includes students, it includes everybody.
Okay. So we are in agreement then that we can leave it at 2 years? Is everyone all right with that? All right. And then Chapman and Cutler also was one that Logan mentioned, and are we okay with leaving that at 2 years? And then in 2 years, looking at it again? Okay. So really no changes to your recommendations. Okay. Any other discussion before we vote about any of our certifications? No? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The officers' report, the highlight of the meeting.
You are way too kind. Okay. For formal complaints, there are no open complaints. Informal contacts, informal complaints. I received a call from a complainant about employment discrimination. The complainant believed their termination was unlawful. The Office of Human Rights and Equity does not have jurisdiction over that employer, and so I assisted that complainant with filing with the Illinois Department of Human Rights. And when I help them, I don't tell them what to say, I just write what they say, because this person had challenges with the computer, and so I just help them put it in. Whatever they say, I type it in.
You type it in.
How they type it in, how
Yeah.
they say it.
Right.
I spoke with the case manager from the August report, who had inquired about rental deposits on behalf of a client. The case manager has since returned my call and submitted the documents for my review. Office activity, I toured Urbana Sola Gracia Farm with Mayor Williams and several city employees. We learned about the history of the farm and the wonders of growing food. And I was actually just totally engaged, and I'm not an outdoor kind of girl. But it was just such a great opportunity to learn about how they,
How they do it.
the planting and the growing. It was interesting. I participated in the Philo Road Ahead event on Sunday, September 7th. The Office of Human Rights and Equity and others staffed an informational table about different programs, services, and events offered through the city. Our office specifically was there to recruit members for the 2 boards that we staff. And there were several listening sessions for the community to provide input on what they would like to see happen in the Philo Road area. And I did speak with several people, and some of them were engaged and said that they would consider joining the HRC as well as the CPRB, but we haven't received any applications from that. Registration is still open for the 2025 Illinois Together Against Hate Conference on Tuesday, October 21, 2025, from 8 to 4 p.m. at the iHotel in Champaign. And registration is free. The conference is free. And I did check with the organizers, and they said, yep, send it out. So I'm sharing that with you guys. It's really for human rights commissions. And so if you can attend it, please do.
I think I did sign up. I'll check. I meant to sign up.
Told me you did.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And moments in human rights history. On this day, September 16th, 1877, Levi Coffin, an American abolitionist whose work in the Underground Railroad was crucial in the fight against slavery, died. He was born near present-day Greensboro, North Carolina. Historians nicknamed Coffin the president of the Underground Railroad. His home in Wayne County, Indiana, is now a museum because 3,000 fugitive slaves passed through his care. The home received the designation the Underground Railroad's Grand Central Station. In 1913, thousands of women demonstrate for Dutch female suffrage. It took more than 6 years before women received the right to vote in the Netherlands. In the next elections of 1922, the voters elected 7 women into the country's lower house. In 1925, Riley B. King, professionally known as B.B. King, was born on a cotton plantation in Mississippi. B.B. King was an American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and record producer. Some call him the single most important electric guitar player in the last half of the 20th century. In 1966, Metropolitan Opera House opens in Lincoln Center, New York City, with Leontine Price as Cleopatra in Antony and Cleopatra by Samuel Barber. She was one of the first African Americans to become a leading artist at the Metropolitan Opera in the 1960s. And just a little liner note, she's from my family's hometown in Laurel, Mississippi. I'm from the north, but they were all born in Laurel, and so is she. In 1987, diplomats complete and begin signing the Montreal Protocol, leading to worldwide efforts to phase out the production of ozone-depleting substances in the next 35 years. A total of 198 nations signed the agreement. As a result, the hole in the ozone over Antarctica is slowly recovering. And that is the end of our report.
Thank you, Carla. Great, as always. And did you say Laurel?
Laurel, Mississippi.
It's a TV show.
Aaron and Ben.
Yeah,
I went to their store when
Did
I
you?
went down.
it's a good one.
And I visited I did the tour of the homes that they had redone.
It looks like a great town.
It's getting there. It's nice, but it's getting better every day.
Okay, this commission has 3 openings. Yeah. The next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, October 21st at 5:30 PM, right here. All right, that's it. We're adjourned.
And bring cake. It's my birthday.
Oh!
We have something to celebrate that day.
Even better.